Wherever you are and joining us. It's good to kickstart the AMA session today. Pradeep, welcome. You will be holding
Thank you.
fort. I'll be here only for a little while, but you'll be holding fort. There are exciting stuff that you have planned, and like we got requests, I think we will show people today about how the viewer or the recipient of a pitch link, what do they experience first when they click on the link and they get in? What do they see? And a bit about uh, the controls and activities that they can do, which make actually life much simpler. I was talking to somebody today uh, in UK, and we were discussing the complexity of a B2b sale today. Pradeep, the fact is that in the last 7-8 years, from 3-4 people deciding to make a B2B purchase, that number has gone in some cases from 15 to 20. In fact, yesterday I was recording a session with Mike Kinkle of Sparks IQ for our series, the Fixing the 5% Conversion Problem. And he was telling me that he actually had a customer where 18-20 people were involved. That customer was dealing with his customer, which had nearly 20 people involved in a decision making process. So it's a lot of people. And when so many
Okay.
people get involved, it is extremely difficult to keep track of materials shared, who is looking at what, and what conversations are going on. Each of these are major issues. I mean, we may sit here and
Yeah, the
think,
most difficult process I can imagine is about like who is directly. But there is normally a chain of command through which this conversation should take place. But the most difficult part, I would guess, I think, would be if someone is contacting directly to the buyer, bypassing the hierarchy or of the process.
well, even in that scenario, I mean, your buyer will typically become your champion inside the organization. He will go and say, look, you need to buy this because it will help me do this, so on and so forth. But the decision making process, the buyer himself is not going to write the check. The buyer will be custodian, champion, but not the decision maker. And that is the complexity that has emerged, that 15-20 people are involved, and managing those conversations are extremely difficult, extremely complex. Lots of things fall between the crack, lots of things are repetitive, and also, one interesting thing, Pradeep, you're in the tech side, so you may or may not be thinking about this kind of stuff. If there are 5 people involved, suppose a company is going to buy a new software system, a ERP system, right? The objective of the CIO, who is trying to fit it into his existing tech stack and ensuring that, suppose it's a bank, I mean, he doesn't want the ERP system to come and break down his banking system, because he'll
Correct.
be responsible, right? So his objective, the CFO's objective, the CEO's objective, and the end user, who is supposed to be the beneficiary of this new system, all the objectives are different.
Correct.
So you have to not only engage with them, but you also have to be able to have continued dialogue to ensure that each of these parties get to see the value of your product and align them with their own expectations and own objectives of outcomes. So it's a B2B buying has seriously become a very complex process. So I just thought I'll share this with you. And it was this afternoon for me in India.
Yeah, I can imagine if I'm trying to sell my product to somebody, like you said, if a bank, then not only I have to satisfy the CIO in terms of the technical, capability of my product, I
Hmm.
have to also satisfy the CFO in terms of pricing and everything.
Right.
Because it may so happen the CIO maybe is sold on my product in terms of its technical ability, but
Hmm.
maybe the CFO is not. The CFO might come and say, "Hey, look, your price is much higher than what we expected, or what we can do right now." So yeah, I can imagine. So I have to sort of satisfy the CIO, the CFO, all the CXOs involved in the process. If it's a
Yeah, yeah,
if it,
and actually, in many cases, it is even beyond CXOs. You know, um, so I'm not able to see it on Facebook. Just so that you know, I'll try it again. I'll try it again. Just hang on.
so do we have anybody here right now? We don't.
Yeah, are you able to see that? I am not able to see it.
Uh, what is that link showing?
Just a bunch of our old videos, and even YouTube. I'm not able to see today. Yeah, YouTube, I think, is loading. Yeah, YouTube is live. YouTube is
Okay,
live.
great.
Yeah, so like last time, we are trying out a new platform, Run the World, and our live streaming is under some challenge. We have got YouTube up and running. Were you able to check out Facebook, Pradeep?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not live on Facebook.
Hmm.
It's
Maybe
not.
we have to talk to these guys. Okay. Yeah. So today, exciting because today you are going to showcase a new addition, which is a very well sought, uh, high demand request, uh, which we believe should be live by next week, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I think
Yeah.
we should. It should be live by next week.
Right. 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 Yeah. And this is very critical because lot of times when you are pitching to a client who doesn't know you, uh, a very effective asynchronous video messaging exchanges can happen through this addition of the video messaging system that you are going to showcase today after you show around the buyer and the pitch making side, right? uh, I think it'll add a lot of value to the communication component in PitchLink. Uh, I mean, there is no debating the fact that video is a critical component of communication today. Everybody talks of video selling, right? Anybody who is talking of remote selling, virtual selling, video is a key component of that because that's how you at least relate with people, correct? And
Right.
PitchLink was always built for video based communication in asynchronous manner. Actually, we believe that each of the formats of communication that we have today, video, audio, docs, PDFs, spreadsheets, images, infographics, GIFs, what have you, all of these are good for communicating certain things. What you can do with a spreadsheet, you cannot do it very effectively in a doc. What you can do in a doc, you cannot do very effectively on a PDF and vice versa. What you can do in a GIF, you cannot do in an image. I mean, if you think about it, people uh, we developed these forms of expression and these formats because there were certain things we tried to do which you are not able to do or which you are missing out. For example, if you remember, Pradeep, a few years back, Apple introduced this concept of live still photos, right? So you take a
Right.
still photo, but it recorded like a few seconds of the action that was going on just before that photo was taken, and it led to a lot of fantastic memories and stuff like that. So the point I'm making is, it is not that these are interchangeable things. It's not that everything can be made into a video and it will be very effective. uh, you cannot literally make a book into a video. I mean, even if you do screen capture of a 300-page book, nobody will be able to read it. Nobody will be able to go back and forth, do what we do with printed text, right? So we believe that video alone, irrespective of how powerful it is, video alone was not enough. And what we needed was a system which will be a hybrid, to the extent that it will let us use the strengths of each document format, each format that is available to us for communication. So which is why we use a string format rather than one whole bland piece of video. So we always believe that people like to interact with documents. It's very tedious. If I send 5 attachments to somebody, just imagine one document, one spreadsheet, one PDF, one video, one audio. Yeah, what happens? You have to open your Word, you have to open your uh, Excel, you have to open your Acrobat, you have to open a VLC, and then you'll be able to look at each one of them. It's a very tedious process.
Right. And not only that, you also don't have any control over, in what seriality they are viewing the files.
Correct. Absolutely.
That
That's
is
the
that
next
is
one.
that's a I feel that's very, very important when when you are attaching and sending a bunch of document. You definitely want your prospective buyer to look at it in a certain order.
Yeah.
But when you are attaching and sending it, you can't control that in which order they are viewing it.
Correct. Correct. And the interesting thing is, a lot of people have asked, "Oh, is it so fixed that if I don't see one document, I cannot?" No, no, it's not like that. But if you skip something and you reach somewhere in the PitchLink interface, then you know, oh, I've skipped document 2 and 3 and I've come directly to document 4. And if document 4 is not making complete sense to me, oh, I have those gaps that I need to sort of go back to. That's very apparent, which is not so when you just have a bunch of information dump, and you are just downloading a bunch of documents and trying to use them. So I think our idea that video being a very critical component has to be the part, because that's how you sort of connect as human beings, and then allow the recipient to interact with the documents the way they're used to interacting. Okay, it's all good to do a video recording of a document, walking people through. That's okay for presentations most of the time. But if you're trying to walk somebody through a word document or a PDF document or a spreadsheet, it's not very easy, and it's extremely tedious. People find it. I mean, I've heard people telling me, and I've seen a lot of forums where people have expressed that unless it's a very simple thing that you're walking people through, which is very linear, uh, it's not very easy to follow a video. But if you let them have the document, they can then sort of mess around with it and get a sense of what the document is. Anyway, I got into this talking about video as a critical component, and in our messaging, although we when we started we already had uh, audio and text, which pretty much covered the bases. I
Yeah, but
think
there was a reason also for why we started with audio and text. That reason was being, privacy, and yeah, I don't want to expose myself too much to the buyer. Because when you are in video, when you might don't want to engage them on a video in the beginning, you may want to do it in the later stage. So that's why we thought that audio and text would be good
we
enough.
thought audio and text was enough.
Yeah.
But since we started the development and today video has come a long way, and the need for video has come a long way, and I think this addition of uh, video messaging to our messaging arsenal uh, will be very, very useful. I mean, you can't do that in Slack also today. uh, you you can't even do an audio message on Slack. So you can do a call, but you cannot do a messaging, and sometimes that is very, very useful. So Pradeep, I think I will sort of drop
Uh,
off. I'll
just before
let
you
you.
go, just check if you are able to view the feed on Facebook.
Okay, sure. It's the page that you told me, right? So
Yeah, yeah, that same page.
the live videos page. Yeah, it is there now.
Okay, finally.
Yeah, I can see it.
Great.
Hooray.
So, do you have any attendees right now? Showing three. It's showing three attendees right now. That is you, me, and there's another person, but I'm not sure. I can't see his name or anything.
I'll just send a message. Okay. I I just messaged, but I no response yet. Okay, maybe he's doing something or she's doing something, and they'll come through. Uh, okay, Pradeep, I think you can carry on with the buyer side uh,
Yeah.
demo and and how to build a pitch, and then finally show them your new feature of video messaging. Okay.
Yeah. After if we have enough time.
Yeah, you'll have. I didn't go too much over. I mean, you told me 15 minutes. I took only 22.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, carry on. Bye bye.
Okay, guys. So that was Subhanjan. So what we'll do is I'll share my screen. Okay, it's behaving weirdly, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. So this is typically what a typical email from someone who has sent you a pitch would look like, and that's the mail body, whatever the body is, whatever the salesperson, the person who has sent you the pitch has written. So below that everything you'd find this link. All you have to do is just click on this link. This link that you receive, that the buyer receives, if you're the buyer, that you have received, is unique for you. It's very unique. This link is for you to view this particular pitch. So if you want to share this pitch with somebody else, please do not forward this email directly to them. Instead, within PitchLink, there is option of sharing a pitch with your team. Use that option to share it with your team. This because this link, as I said, is very unique to you. It identifies you via this link, so it should be always with you. Do not even share this. Man, ideally, you should not be even share this link to the original sender, to the person, to the salesperson, the person who has sent you the pitch. Even he doesn't know what is this link and everything. Yeah. So I'll just click on this link, and that would open this pitch. So this is a pitch. Yeah. So this is the welcome screen for a buyer who comes when you click on a pitch as a buyer. So for example, this is the name of the pitch, buyer side demo, which I had already prepared and sent myself on my personal mail ID to, to sort of keep it ready. So, so this is the welcome, and to start viewing the page, you just close this. and you can see your privacy settings is by default open. You can just have a look. So by default, PitchLink does not share any of your activities with the salesperson. So that is to say which element you have looked at, how many times you have looked at a particular element, with whom you have shared. In the sense, it shows that you have shared this pitch with somebody else, but by default, it will not reveal the name of the person or email ID of the person with whom you have shared the pitch. That control will lie with that person. Of course, your name and mail ID will be visible to the salesperson because he or she has directly sent you the pitch. So, for example, if I just go here and sort of look at this, you can see like this is the pitch, and the only piece of information that I get is that I have opened the pitch. That's it. It will not show me anything unless and until I give this permission. So for example, you can click read more and find more details about this. You can see what it is. So as a buyer, you have full control, to look at all the things that the salesperson, the seller has sent you without, notifying the seller that you have seen everything. This is very, very important, we believe, so that you can look at your own time, own pace, and then let the seller know that you have seen it and you are interested in it. So this is the privacy settings. So for example, if I close this and this is the first element, I can sort of, this is an audio
Hello,
page.
Amit. I hope this finds you well.
So I can just click on it and view all the elements. Right. So right now, for example, I have gone through the first three elements, but if I go here and, if I go back to the original page, and you can see that if I just refresh this, right, you can see as a salesperson, I'm not able to see any of those. But if I click on this gear icon on the right hand side of the page, which controls the privacy settings, if I click on it and enable this slider, it will let you know that the privacy settings have been updated. The salesperson can now view your activities. So once I have enabled this, and you can immediately see those data are visible to the salesperson. It is showing that I have viewed these three items, one at a time, and total I have viewed three. Immediately it shows that to the salesperson. So for example, if I go back to the first one and view it again, and if I refresh this, you can see it's showing two. So twice I have viewed the first element, I have viewed the one, and so on and so forth. Everything that I do, how many times I'm viewing, all those data will be available with the salesperson. But and the good part is that if you have given the permission, if you have allowed the salesperson to view your activity at any point of time, you can actually revoke it. Again, by simply clicking on the slider, that's it. Now I have revoked the permission. The system will let you know. Privacy, and the salesperson will not be able to view your activities. And immediately, if I'm the salesperson, it will immediately be affected on my side. As you can see, I cannot view it anymore. all those data that I was viewing earlier is not there anymore. Next, one of the settings that we have is what we call engagement settings. So here you can either let the salesperson know and opt out of the page that you are not interested. So you can let them know that fine, I'm not interested in your page, and you can give them a relevant reason if you want, and write them a note and just click send, and they will get the mail and they will know that you are not interested in this page. But you'll still have access to the page and they'll still be able to sort of, pursue you if they want. But you can let know your intention to them. Then there is opt out. Opt out, as the name suggests, this will let you opt out of the page. So basically, if you opt out of a page, A, you'll not be able to view or engage with that page anymore, and B, the salesperson will not be able to contact you on that page anymore. He or she might send you a new page through which he or she might try to contact you again, but not with this page. And any activities that is happening with the page, uh, any activity that is happening with the page, you'll not get any notification on your mail. So for example, if I click here, so it asks me whether I really want to opt out of the page. I click OK, and that's it. I have opted out of the page. Now you can see I have two options. I can exit or I can opt in again if I want. But if you click exit, that's it. You are done. You have opted out for the page. But what if you want to, you did it accidentally, or after some time you decide, okay, I want to get into the page again. All you have to do is just go back to the original link, click on it again. It will show you that you have chose to opt out of this page. So either you can click exit and remain opt out of the page, or you can click opt in. And if I click opt in, yeah, I'm back into the page again. So this is, at any point of time you can opt out of the page, and then again at any point of time you can opt in the page as buyer. You have full control over it. And the third is notification. By default it's on. So notification is whenever some activities happen on this particular page. Since you are part of the page, you will get a notification via email from the system, like if the salesperson leaves a new comment, or any of your team member leaves a comment, or if the salesperson team member leaves any comment or anything, those sort of, you'll get notification via mail. So if you turn this off, you'll not receive those notifications. So you can remain sort of silent, and of course you can again come back and turn on the notification. By default, it's on, but at any point of time you can just click on it and it will turn off. You will get a notification saying that it's updated. You will not get any notification from this page. But please remember, this notification is for this page only. It's not a system-wide setting. That is to say, if you have received another page from another company, or a completely new page from the same company, same seller, but it's a different page, in that page you'll still continue to get notification related to any activities that is happening on that page, but you'll not receive any notification or any activities happening on this particular page. So this is purely page specific that you are getting from the salesperson. It's not system wide. So it is quite possible that you remain opt out. You have stop notification for some of the pitches that you have received, but you you have made you have chose to receive notification from some other pitches. It's quite possible. It's not a system wide setting. If you click on that, you again get this landing card which shows what are the three main features that you can do in this page. And finally, we have this logout feature. So basically, either you can choose to close this page and be done with it, or you can choose to go to your dashboard. So this is something that we call the buyer's dashboard. I think I'll not go to there today. I'll show it some other day. So basically, the buyer dashboard is the dashboard of you as buyer. There you get to see all the pitches that you have received from various companies within PitchLink. Of course, you can always save the original mail, to get into the pitch, but you can also you have your dashboard. You can always go to Pitch.Link, and just log in using your email ID. The system will automatically send you a verification code in the email. You enter the code and you will get into the buyer dashboard. And the buyer dashboard is one consolidated space where you get to see all the pitches that you have received from various companies within PitchLink, right? And you can sort of click on any of the pitches and you can start engaging. And while you are in a pitch, you can always click go to dashboard to go back to the dashboard. So I'll just cancel this for now. So that's pretty much what we have on the right hand side menu. And this right hand side menu is exclusive to the buyer side. The salesperson cannot see this menu. Okay. Now on the left hand side, we have two things. You can see there are two panels. One, the top panel is the vendor panel, what we call. That is to say the salesperson, the vendor company who has sent the pitch, and the bottom panel is your own panel. So any activity that you want to do with the vendor, you do it from the top panel. Any activity that you want to do with your team, you do it from the bottom panel. So you remember I was saying that not to share forward the original mail that you have received with your team members. You use the sharing feature that is available within PitchLink. That feature is available in your panel. That is in the bottom panel, and this is the link button. You click on it and you get to sort of share the page with your team. Just enter the name, last name and email ID and click on send, and they will receive the page. But they will receive their own individual personalized link, not the same link that you have received, but they will be able to get into the page. And of course, you can add more people if you want. Here you need to, this is the subject of the mail, this is the body. You can write, you can already see the mail that you had originally received from the seller. It's already there. You can write your mail on top of that mail, or you can just simply delete it and write a complete new mail and click send to send it to your team members, and they will be able to get in. And once the team members get in, though, their details will be shown below. And this is the salesperson, the vendor panel. On the top, you can see there is something called click here to view all the email invitations. So if you click on it, it will show a list of all the email invitations that uh, you have received, or you may have sent and invited someone into the pitch. So basically, a lot of time it happens that the you may have to refer to the original email that you have sent or that somebody has sent you while you were being invited into a pitch. So of course you can always go back to your mail and refer to the original body, or within PitchLink itself you can refer to the original mail. This is just for reference, a handy nifty tool just to have a reference of the original mail that you have received when you were invited into the pitch. And also, since you are the buyer, it will also show you the list of mails that you have sent out while you are inviting your team into the pitch. You can see this is the image of the salesperson. In this case, this is Subhanjan's image, and if you click on it, you'll be able to see the salesperson card. This is like a business card, like a visiting card, and the salesperson has complete control over it, how it looks, the image, and everything else. And that is why this is something viewable to the buyer. That is why we always recommend to create a good, to upload a good profile photo and create a good salesperson profile, because that profile and that photo is directly visible to the buyer as a salesperson card. So that's that. And if I click here, I get to see the company card. Company card is, that is to say, the company, the vendor company details. This is the vendor company card. Again, this is also available. The the admin can actually edit and create this company profile card. Again, this is also, we say that this is also very, very important to have a good company profile, because this company profile and salesperson profile have a direct effect on the pitch which the viewer is seeing. And then we have these two buttons. One is to view the resource section, I'll come to that later, and the other is to chat with the seller team. So if I click here, I'll be able to chat with the seller team, that is within the vendor company. It will show you the chat with Experience PitchLink. Experience PitchLink is the vendor company who has sent me the pitch, and I can straight away start sending messages. Right now we can send text message and audio message, but as we said, we are working on a video messaging as well, which will go live most probably next week, and you'll be able to send video messages as well. Now all these messages are asynchronous. It's not a live chat, so you just send it and the seller can respond. The seller will receive a notification that you have sent a message, and he or she can respond then at their own pace. This is not a live chat. It doesn't. So it's a more asynchronous tool. Similarly, in the bottom panel also you have the same chat icon. This you can click to chat with your own team. Now, whenever you are chatting with your own team, all those chat ribbons confined with your team. The salesperson or the salesperson team cannot view this chat. These are completely private. With you, for example, I can just, even if there is no team member, even if this is only you, you can always, keep note to yourself by typing some message here. So for example, hi, right? So so this is this I've posted in my room. So if I close it and if I open, you can see it's not visible here. It's only visible here. It's only visible to me. The salesperson will not be able to view this chat. So but I have an option called post to all. If I click on it, then this will get posted to the other chat room. That is the chat room with the vendor. If I don't do it, it will always remain private with me. Yeah, this is the resource section or additional document, more document. So resource section or additional document is a place where you can attach some more documents which will sort of, which doesn't fit the main narration, but these are additional documents which which the buyer, prospective buyer can see, or which you can share with the prospective buyer. So these are like additional documents, and they can be sort of categorized through folders. So for example, right now I'm in the resource section and the background info folder is selected, and that has this video and this PDF file. I can go to the other folder which is called walkthrough videos, and I can view those videos. I can chat on those. I can leave messages again the same way I'm leaving messages on the elements. Again, here I'm chatting with the vendor company, but if I go and click on the bottom panel, I will be able to chat with my team. Same thing. I can chat with my team, or if there is, I can sort of leave comments to or notes to myself, and these are not visible to the seller. And finally, there's and finally, this is my company logo, which the salesperson have added. If I click on it, I get this my company name, and I can sort of click on here to go to my dashboard. So this is pretty much the controls that are available on the buyer side. The seller side has similar controls which the seller uses to engage with the buyer, and I'll be able to show you on the next session maybe. I think we are already past our scheduled time. Yeah, so that's it for the buyer side demo for today. I'll just stop the screen sharing. Yeah, I hope that was helpful to you guys. Please feel free to, if you have any question, you can ask, you can post here, you can post in YouTube, you can post in Facebook, and we'll definitely look into your questions and give the answers. Okay, guys. See you in the next AMS session, which is like next week, next Tuesday. Till then, take care. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.